Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Dr. Stone Season 4, Episode 7. So, Senku knows who the Doctor is. He figured it out. It is Xeno. It is a guy who formerly worked for NASA. It is how Senku learned how to build rockets when he was younger. Very cool. We also met a new character, Luna. A couple other new characters as well, but she was the main one. She infiltrated the ship and is trying to find Dr. Taiju and find a way to get him onto the deck so that way Stanley can snipe him. Now, I really wonder if we're gonna get into a situation where like Luna's gonna get Taiju close to being sniped, and then Senku's gonna be having a conversation with Xeno, and Zeno's gonna like call off Stanley at like the last second. I was thinking about that. Maybe it's gonna leave us in like a high tensity situation. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to seeing whatever it is that is about to happen. So let's just jump into it and watch this episode, shall we? We're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Elegant. Triggered! Yep. Yep. Did he say that out loud? I don't know. Anyway. Man, I can't wait for honestly, I'm almost more okay with being sick than I am the aftermath of being sick. Like, I hate that feeling in your lungs where you constantly feel like you need to cough. And you have to, like, sit there and fight it or just cough, you know? Um, I have that right now, and it's been like that. I've been feeling pretty much fine for, like, 4 or 5 days now since I've gotten sick. Maybe even longer than that at this point. But I still just have that feeling of, like, any second I could cough. And then usually it doesn't go away after the cough. Oh, man. Good old colds. I like the song. I don't think it's my favorite out of all the Dr. Stone songs, but it's just like a fun beat. 2 scientists, alright. Oh! We're back in the real world, maybe. Or the old world. Just freaking 10 years old and he's working on a damn thruster. That's crazy. Oh my god. The delayed reaction on them. Did that kid just blow himself up? Nice. Oh. Hmm. Did he send a message to Zeno? Oh, maybe several people. I wonder if Zeno's one of the few people that answer or something. Oh. He's gonna ask a question about a rocket. Oh my god. That's so funny. Aww. Yeah. Scared to give out secrets. Hmm. That's awesome. Okay. Cool. The 100 yen store. Probably expensive. Oh my god. What was that, like $5,000? Dad, can you buy me this $5,000 thing? The magic card. Oh. Well, damn, that's nice. Oh, Byakuya. Very neat. I love how Taiji was so supportive even though he didn't, like, understand and stuff. He was just hanging out with him, giving him someone to bounce ideas off of, even if he couldn't help too much. He's gonna be the... Oh. Oh my god! Jesus. I thought Taiji was gonna be the muscle, like, stop the car for him. Hmm. Some of his, like, projects and goals being rejected kind of showing the red tape behind being stuck in an office and rather than kids just freely experimenting. The desk was empty. Was that Zeno's desk? Did he lose his job, or... Hmm. Seems like he's still in a NASA base, so he's probably okay. Hmm. $10 billion% all of it. Fuck yeah. Can see there's already a difference between them back then. That's a hell of a question. Hmm. 10 billion%. This is pretty cool. Africa! Just so casually. Damn. He really just went all over the place. Oh, does he remember the messages? I wonder what would have happened if he heard that name. If Gen didn't lie about names. Ah, they met in person. I like how they didn't even really have to say anything. They just like stood next to each other and knew already, probably. Very coincidental, but I suppose rocket scientists aren't like a dime a dozen, you know? So it probably kind of makes sense that Senku could have talked to him. Humanity. The night before petrification. Okay. Ah, they're looking into it too. Ah, Senku posted his data. Nice. CDC, that makes sense. Damn, it's crazy that Senku almost caught it. Like, if they could have figured it out just a little bit sooner. Maybe they could have tracked down before the big event happened. The moon. Hmm. Back to the gasoline machine. Did this have to do with the birds, too? Interesting. Yeah, back to the first episode. Hmm. Interesting. Hmm. Oh, Stanley. Oh, it's her, too. Alright. So I'm guessing before it went public is when everything went to stone. Hmm. Did they kind of figure out that you should stay awake? That's crazy. Yep, they kind of figure it out. Damn. Oh man, so all the people that like make it out are people that are kind of aware of the staying awake, probably. These two. Oh shit. Did they manage to yell out to tell people to like stay awake, maybe? Yeah, yelled it. Maintain concentration, like, or, consciousness. Oh my god. Okay. Cool. And then they're just, yeah, just everyone's just stoned for a long ass time. I'm guessing not all of these people. Or maybe they do. Maybe we just haven't seen them all yet. She just freaks out like this for 3,700 years. Jesus. I am. That's cool. It's like protecting. Damn. Yeah. Oh no. Bye, Zeno. Hmm. Okay, there it is. Oh, we're just back to Senku. I wonder how close together they woke up then. Are we about to find out? Thinking about what he's gonna do. Hmm. Alright. This is why we find him there. Hmm. Nice. Alright, cool. We kind of got to see. I mean, that was a question I asked is, when did they break out? I mean, based on the way they framed this episode, it seems like it was. I'm sure it wasn't the exact moment like it was framed here. That seems kind of coincidental that they'd both, like, be hit by the little bit of nitric acid needed to break them out, but I think the show is basically trying to hint that it's close enough that it doesn't really matter. They broke out right around the same time. So, um, but but yeah, we got to see more of that relationship of Senku and, like they already have that relationship formed. They're gonna know each other. It's just gonna be a matter of, since things have changed in this world, I think Senku would be willing to work with these people, but with, Zeno being more on like the I want to be a dictator kind of thing, will he be willing to work with Senku? Even like, since they know each other, or will he stay stubborn despite knowing each other? So I'm I'm really curious. Excuse me. That is it, guys, for episode 7. Um, but yeah, So obviously, as we learned last episode, Senku knew Zeno, and not just like I thought maybe it was something where Zeno posted like articles about stuff that he worked on, and Senku read them. But no, it was like a direct connection where they spoke to each other back and forth and stuff like that. So very cool seeing Senku, like young Senku again with his ambition to learn everything, and seeing how his ambition differs from Zeno's ambition. Zeno has a more mature, more like, science is power. You can, you know, like I forget the line that he used. He said something about like science is power and like manipulating people in some regard. Um, where I'm kind of curious where that part was. Because we have him here sitting at this desk, which then he gets, like, nothing after. Like, the desk is empty after. Um... Yeah, we have the Project Helium-3 being rejected from Zeno. Which is interesting because then it cuts to the desk being empty during the day with like no computer at it or anything. It just makes me wonder if he like lost his job because that project was rejected in some way. I don't know, but then we see him like on the roof near the rockets. I feel like if you lost your job, you're not staying in the vicinity of NASA enough to be like right next to a rocket like he was, right? I think it was right around here. He says science is power. And then he goes on to explain, for example, you don't need me to tell you that your rocket and a ballistic missile are fundamentally one and the same. Yeah. With science, an intelligent person can guide the foolish masses toward truth and rule over them. Yeah. It's an elegant power indeed, Dr. Senku. Yeah, so just kind of this difference in ideas that, like Senku being like, I'm not interested in that crap, I just want to know how everything works, whereas Zeno's kind of like, how can I use how this stuff works to manipulate people in my favor? So, pretty big differences in the thought process, which makes me worried that they might not be able to see eye to eye, but I guess we'll find out. I'm still waiting for the idea of like the Y-Man and everything to come up, and for like I wonder what X would do if he found out that Y-Man exists. He's probably on the moon, and he's continuing to periodically send things down to try and turn the Earth to stone again. Like I feel like that's that's one of those things where like the whole world unites at that point. So, but there was also a mention when he was younger, before all this happened, where or like I mean, while this was happening, I think he was stoned at the time, and X said, "If more scientists live, they'll group up there." I think I'm a sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I tried to make it to the mute button, but I didn't make it there in time. But yeah, there was that one moment where he was like, if more scientists, like all the scientists are gonna flock to where that corn is. So I wonder, like, what changed? Because right there, it seemed like he like would want more scientists, right? So that way they can work together. But now that he's there and in control, maybe he's gotten a taste of that, control people that he's wanted with his science, and now he doesn't want more scientists. And that's why they're just going out, guns blazing against Senku's group. But yeah. Anyway, I do like the kind of parallel to like the kid world and the adult world where we have Senku who's just kind of freely working on all these experiments and figuring out how these things work, and he doesn't have any of that like red tape that stops him from, like the helium-3 project that he was working on that got rejected. That was something that maybe he wanted to try and build and work on, but he was never able to because of the red tape of being an adult. Whereas Senku is just this kid running around being crazy and experimenting, like this freedom that he has. So I wonder if that's a way that we can connect with Zeno. Like maybe Senku really inspires him going forward with this, this notion of like, hey, we're free. We can do whatever. We can build whatever. Like, why are we constraining ourselves here and trying to limit each other and trying to kill each other? I don't know. But yeah, I just really liked that parallel between all that. Crazy that, I mean, I have no idea whether it's accurate or not, but that Senku's dad got like a credit card from NASA that when you like become an employee, you can just take this credit card and just spend it on like space related technology. I feel like that's pretty far fetched, but maybe I'm wrong. Um, but either way, whether it does work the way that I just said, or maybe I misunderstood, and he's just using his dad's money. Like, poor Byakuya sitting there working his ass off, and Senku's just off here buying $5,000 equipment and, all kinds of other shit too, just charging it to his dad's credit card. But hopefully he didn't put his dad in too much debt. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, because the world just erased that debt for him. But yeah. I also really like that Senku's bird data, he was like putting that out to the public, and there was other people like realizing it, and even, Dr. Zeno and all that was looking into it and got like some of the bigger powers involved into looking into it, and that's awesome. Like, it shows that Senku was really close to, like, I mean, maybe not Senku alone, but Senku plus like other scientists in the world researching it as well, thanks to him bringing light to the situation, almost prevented this from happening. If they had a little bit more time to study this, maybe they could have determined where its origins were before the big wave went off and could have saved, all of humanity. So it's a really interesting concept, and I really like that little bit of detail there. So um but yeah, really neat that one time they met each other and they just kind of like stood next to each other, didn't say anything. They're just two badasses, and just smiled, and then he just walked off when Byakuya was showing up. Very cool. Obviously, very coincidental that, like, that this guy is the same guy that Senku knew, but and he was also the same guy to figure out the whole like staying conscious thing. And I mean, hell, that was something that Senku didn't even really figure out. Like, I think Senku just stayed conscious on a whim, just because he figures like, oh, this is probably a good idea, right? But Zeno actually had science behind it. He could see that some of these birds are still awake in there, and that like those brainwaves being used is like doing stuff to the stone around the head. So, he came up with that whole plan, and we had, a bunch of the people that are alive in his kingdom are ones that were in that area, and he was able to yell out, hey, try to stay conscious. And because of that, they're all the ones that managed to break out. So I just love the idea that Luna was just freaking out like that for 3,700 years. Such a long time to just try and like stay conscious and have to like fight for that. I wonder how hard it was to like fight for that and stay awake. And I wonder if it is like staying awake, like you don't get any time to sleep, right? Like, oh man, like sleeping is such a beautiful thing. That sucks. But anyway. Um That'd be wild. So, like, that's just the mental drain. I can't even imagine it. I'm kind of surprised that those, all those people that did do it. Like, I can understand Stanley, a trained sniper, someone who's used to staying awake for long periods of time and stuff, used to that mental discipline. Xeno being a scientist, having this, like, mastery over his mind. But, Luna, what are the other? Carlos and Max, like, I just feel like they'd be the kind of people that would be like, like, oh, I need to stay awake, I need to stay awake, I need to stay awake, and just fade at one point. But no, props to them. I mean, I don't know if I could do it. I almost feel like at one point I'd just be like, nah, I fucking give up, This is bullshit. I don't know. I don't think I could do it. 3,700 years. I can't even fathom what it would be like. Like, that's not even on my scope of, I wouldn't even want to do it for a week, Let alone 3,700 years. God damn. Alright, well, anyway, that craziness aside, very cool episode, very great getting a look into, like, kind of how these people stayed alive. A lot of, like, the iconic looking people that we have on Dr. Zeno's side we've seen now. I wonder if, like, how many more people they have, right? Like, they did talk about how, like, any scientist that would get out would, like, go to that area, maybe. I wonder if they have any examples of anyone other than, like, this group and Senku that broke out by staying conscious, right? I thought all the people in Zeno's group were people that just by chance stayed conscious, but no, they seem to be all the ones that were there, and he gave them the heads up to do it, right? So I wonder if anyone else has, like, figured that out or whatnot in their group, but yeah. Anyway, that'll be it for me, I think, guys. Good episode. I enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing where we go with the rest of the season, especially with, like I said before, this being the final one. We've got a long way to go for what we have left, but links in the description below should be popping up on the screen for my Patreon and early access. Get 2 episodes ahead of time through the early access tier. Patreon show tier has shows that aren't even released to YouTube yet, so check that out if you're interested. Hit the subscribe button if you want to do something for free and support the channel. I very much appreciate it, guys, and I will see you in my future reactions.